Is that diversion payment approved and paid already?
It's
Or is
not,
it
you need
just-
to accept that offer, it's an offer from them, you need to accept it or reject it. We, have had that in hand now for a couple months, and we have met with the engineering companies representing the diversion authority. We asked asked them to bump it up to 220, and they came back and said no, 214, so.
And I was just curious if it's gone through the process on their end and got approval as well.
It's approved on their end.
It is.
Yep, so they've made us an offer through their
Yeah.
engineering company, so.
So you can count on it. That's just that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that, you know, and here that, and they've already done with the work over there. They had promised us an offer, I don't know, 6 or 7 months ago. And then they're waiting for an appraisal, kept putting us off. Well, now they've already done the flood wall, they're occupying the property, they still haven't paid for
Oh, yeah.
it, so.
Interest?
Right, so we said, well, get us 220, and they, you know, and we could still press them on that, probably, if we chose to.
Yeah.
And then the other is the Federal Home Loan Bank. We've got 2 applications into them. Or 2 pre-applications for $500,000 each. The Housing Trust Fund's a potential. There's $3 million available at the state. We can write a grant for that in September. And then the tax credit equity can bring in, 4% brings in about 30% of the total development cost, and the 9% brings in about 60 to 70%. And then once it's in the RAD and all the public housing, we can take mortgages against those properties. And then if we can get the state HIF program refunded, that's another potential source of funds. So anyway, so there's a lot of resource available that we've kind of building up towards this, redoing these 2 buildings and replacement housing for the high-rise. So if you go down, and these are all fairly conservative numbers, I think, too. And if you go down to the bottom, then again, this is really a very preliminary back of the napkin. But it looks like we can do 120 units of new construction to rehouse high-rise tenants. And I'm showing there how our the HRA funds would contribute towards that, about $6.5 million. And we can leverage another 26 million, or 19 million rather, and the total for the 120 units is 26 million. So, all that's quite doable, I think. And then once we start doing these projects, there should be in the range of $600,000 to $800,000 per project available to us from fee, and that goes into the mix as well. I haven't accounted for on top, so another $1.5 million. Anyway, so we're at a point where we can get all this done,
including the high-rise.
Yep.
And then there's so roughly 120 new units, so the other 200 or so in the high rise, they would just get vouchers to go somewhere else, or how would that happen?
Right, we'd lose a few through attrition.
Yeah, okay.
We've got about 240 tenants over there.
240, okay. So another.
So we can rehouse, into here 120, into our other managed housing, another maybe 30 or 40.
Okay.
And then the balance would be provided vouchers, or anybody that chose to get a voucher. But we're gonna have lots of different options available to them.
And what kind of timeline are we looking at particularly?
This is about a 3-year.
Okay, and so from the tenant's perspective, again, so that they aren't panicked and they know that
Yeah.
we're,
Yeah, and I've been meeting with the tenants to keep them up to speed.
yours, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's important that we continue to do that, just to keep them apprised of.
Yeah, so the first, I think what I'll try to do, the first building we open would be something like an 80-unit building, a combination of 4%, 9% credits. And then the following year, do another 9%. The 4% takes a lot more equity on our part.
The 4% does.
Yeah, but it's non-competitive, we can do that at any time. We can bring, if we've got enough equity piled up,